It is so hot while I'm recording this video. Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you all having a great day today. We take on Homestead Miami Speedway as well as Martinsville, as I hope you're all staying cool on this beautiful day. It is a beautiful day, but it is super hot. It's with the humidity well over 40 degrees Celsius here, and that is absolutely miserable here, but you know, we're gonna bear through it and we're gonna continue on with this career and in this final season of the NASCAR 25 career mode that is of course now, and of course at the end of this season it'll be time to jump into NASCAR 26. Hard to believe we're already at that point of transitioning, you know, from the final season of this career into a brand new NASCAR game, what is very exciting though, of course. Now as we come through into qualifying, we go P21 as Kyle Larson is on pole alongside the number 11 of Tyler Reddick, as you'll see the rest of your qualifying order. But when you qualify top 25 at a mile and a half, you know you're going to have speed. Of course, qualifying always so much more difficult than what it is in the race. So I'm feeling pretty confident about what we're going to be able to do come race time now, as Justin Allgaier, our part-time teammate at Junior Motorsports, rounds up the bottom of the grid there in dead last. And as we take to the grid here on Sunday afternoon, we got one win so far on the season. It hasn't been the exact last handful of races that I kind of imagined us having. I was hoping to have another win by now, but we won the Daytona 500. Now the goal is we go a little bit further here and get a win here this weekend in Miami. I am confident that we can pick up a win here from Miami. Now let's find out as the green flag is out and we're racing here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Now is of course the home of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series IRL Championship race. Unfortunately, we don't have that here in the game, but obviously, you know, when we go to NASCAR 26, I cannot wait to be ending a season right here in Miami. It's going to be a lot of fun as we kick off this opening lap of 20 in stage number 1. And, you know, usually what happens when you start here around 20th place is even if you have speed in your car, you still end up having to, you know, kind of pit a little bit on the early side of a stage, trying to get some track position. And if it stays green, that's probably exactly what we're going to do here in stage 1, is we'll pit on the early side of things, gain some time right off the bat, and then get ourselves into the top 10. And then, of course, we'll bleed time at the end of the stage, but it'll just set us up better for stage 2. That's kind of the concept there as we continue here down the front straightaway. Lap 3 underway, and we are 3 wide in the middle. Now to the inside is Connor Zilish. Outside of me, Brad Keselowski. Into turn number 1 as Kyle Larson leads right now over the 45 of Corey Heim, who's up there in the conversation. Last episode, Corey Heim picked up his first win in the Cup Series with that 45 team, which was absolutely awesome to see, and that as well meant wins for the crew chief of that team, the first toilet, and the gas man, Mr. Bad Guy, getting some wins. Nice to see them, of course, picking up some wins here now. And the most wins of anybody in this pit crew lore on this career mode is Glenn Lawrence at 9 wins. My man has an insane resume. And then the first toilet at 7 wins now, as we've got a lot of you guys that still have yet to get to victory lane as part of the pit crew lore. And of course, we've had a few members recently upgrade to the pit crew membership, so you guys will be included in the lore. You can take a look at the spreadsheets in the description and see exactly which team you're on for this current season of the NASCAR 25 career mode. Every season of any career mode, it's always a reset and you get placed on a new team. So we obviously want to be able to shake things up, because there's going to be some seasons where someone's on a poor team and then the next season they're going to be on the best team, you know, as an example. So we want to give everybody an opportunity to have some moments of success in the pit crew lore now, as we're already coming up towards halfway through this first and opening stage. And you see the tire warning light now, and actually the crew chief recommends me to pit right now. Really can't, because we're in a bit of an awkward spot. So we are going to pit though coming to the end of lap 10. I said, okay, let's roll with this strategy here, and I'm making a bit of a wedge adjustment here. I'm down to 48.5 on the wedge at this point now, but we're going to come in and get 4 tires and get some fuel as we get a nice little run here to turn 2. But I kind of felt like we had kind of stalled out at this point. I didn't really have a lot of pace at this point now, so I'm like, all right, let's just come in here and get these tires, and hopefully this pit stop, well, as you can see here, no one's really coming in, so this should propel us into the top 10 quite comfortably, maybe even further up the grid now, as the 11 of Tyler Reddick leads surveys the field here as we come into the pits. We'll get our 4 tires, fill it up on gas, and get ready to go back racing here now, as it's going to be a 15.9, just shy of 16 seconds here now, as we'll exit and head back out on the racetrack now from dead last. And of course now you're in that period of waiting and hoping for no caution, and then just trying to set the absolute best lap you can possibly set here now, as we continue on now, starting to pass some of these guys that are just out making their pit stops. Now you can see a few cars there on the apron. We'd pass all of them. Ryan Blaney would be one of the first ones up front to pit, and then he would actually come out in front of me until he would get caught up in lap traffic right there, or not lap traffic, but traffic coming into the pit. So we pass Ryan Blaney because of that, and as cars continue to make their pit stops and come out in front of us here, the 45 right now of Corey Himes right up there in front of us. Here comes Chase Elliott out, and it's going to be Elliott, it's going to be Heim, it's going to be Reddick in the 11, it's going to be myself, and it's going to be Blaney. This is the top 5 you're looking at right here. So we have snuck into the top 5 with this strategy, but we do know we are going to fall down the order because we've got older tires. So we're just going to bleed track position for the rest of this stage, but the idea was to just simply be in the top 10, and right now we're P5 as Kyle Larson's closing, Christopher Bell is closing. I think we will probably get passed by Larson and Bell, but I think we should be able to hold on beyond that. So no matter what, I mean, as long as we bring this thing home here, it's going to be a success. And come lap 18, here comes Kyle Larson now to my outside into turn number 1. He'll pass us, so we drop down to P6, and then you can see just there in the mirror, Christopher Bell is going to be pretty close here now. Like I said, I do expect him to pass me as well, and sure enough, we're coming to the final lap at this point here in stage 1, and now the 20 car to my outside into turn number 3, and Christopher Bell is going to say thank you very much. He's going to go around the outside and take that position, but we're coming to the final lap here, so we should be able to hold on to P7. Ryan Blaney as well is fading on this final lap of the stage. Of course, he was the first one after me really to come in and make his pit stop, but Corey Heim and the number 45 win stage 1, and we end up holding on for P7. Ryan Priest got Chastain at the line there and gets 8th place over Chastain, as that number 60 was on the move. But now we all get to come back into the pits, get some fuel, get some 4 tires, and as well, you know, looking at some more adjustments. I did make a wedge adjustment to go a little bit further down on the wedge, as we did actually lose a position to Ryan Priest in the pit lane here now, as we get ready to go green for the second stage here from Miami. A lovely, lovely racetrack now. I just enjoy so much coming here and getting, especially in NASCAR 25, to kind of run wherever I want. You can rip the wall, you can run the bottom, you can run the middle, but it seems like the kind of that second line, like right above the one lane above the bottom, seems to almost be where you want to be right now. But as we head down this bank straightaway now in towards turn number 3, we're going to get all the way up here to the higher side, and Christopher Bell is going to kind of cover that up. The beauty of the next gen is you can really do this right here. Hold on, bit of contact with the 24. That's not what I'm talking about, but the beauty of the next gen is, especially at the 1.5 miles really only, is the ability to just change the trajectory of the path of your car in the middle of the corner. You can really just move this car around, which is so fascinating now, as we are going to be 3 wide briefly on the exit of turn 2. 3 wide in front of us as well. Larson going backwards now, and then I would eventually jump down behind the 9. This is the line right here that I feel like you want to be running for optimal times. But right now, I mean, we don't have the luxury of being able to just kind of go for that optimal, you know, times. We got to try and make some passes, and we pass Chase Elliott, we pass Kyle Larson, who are up on the outside line here, and as we go down this back straight away, covering off the 20 of Christopher Bell, as we work on passing the 60 of Priest. Oh, hold on, Bell to my inside, shot to the back bumper there from the number 500cars.com Chevrolet of Kyle Larson. Great racing here. The AI at the 1.5 miles are so well done in this game. Now, we always talk about the flaws of NASCAR 25, and I do like to give this game its flowers when it's deserving of it, and this is one of those moments where it is deserving of that, because the 1.5 mile racing against the AI is just so much fun as we continue on here down the back straightaway now. 3 wide again, and we continue to work our way forward. But as we came to lap 5, coming to lap 6, Christopher Bell going forward, and I could already kind of feel the right front tire kind of giving way, and the number one sign of that is just the car starts to get really tight, as we were now struggling after passing Priest to get past the 20, and here comes Chase Elliott as well, right back past us here as we drop down into the 8th position into turn number 1. So at this point again, I'm like, okay, we have a couple of options here. we can pit early again in this stage and try to get to the front of the pack and then hold on, or we could just try to tough this one out and pit with everybody else, and therefore we can hopefully have the same level of speed to the end of the stage in, of course, what wouldn't really be a huge gain of track position, but it would give us a chance to gain some track position on the run to the end of the stage here now. So what I had kind of gone for was more leaning towards option 2, as we're actually to the outside of Tyler Reddick, who's been kind of fading here in this progressive number 11 for the last few laps now. Couldn't quite clear him though, and I got the call to pit here with 5 laps of fuel left from my crew chief, and you can see the wedge now down to 46.0. We continue to lower that wedge, just trying to flirt with how much we can get away with before the car starts to break loose. So we will pit right here at the end of lap 11. Still going to be the only one. Oh no, someone's coming in behind us. I think that's Ryan Priest. I nearly smoked the tires right there, or the barrels, sorry, as we will have a 16.0 second pit stop and we'll get back on the racetrack. So as we return to the racing action, already a bunch of cars in the pit lane, including the leader of Corey Heim. So we know we're going to have an advantage, but we're not going to have like a huge advantage like we had earlier now. And oh, this is not going to help us right here. They come down in front of us there on old tires, and we kind of get checked up. And now here comes Ryan Brees in the number 60 Kroger Ford Mustang as well to take advantage. He's actually going to be a bro and pushes me down into turn number 1. And now here comes Reddick, Elliott, Bell coming out of the pits, Briscoe as well, Chastain. Where's Corey Heim? Where is the number 45 of Corey Heim? That's the big question now. I don't see him anywhere. And as we continue, we are going to be, I think, a net P3 then, because Chastain must have pitted early. I don't even know. Where was Chastain? I never even noticed him. So either way, he's out in front, but the lead for him did not last for long, because come lap 17, Briscoe to his inside now, and he's passing him for the lead. And we, of course, are in a situation again where our tires are a little bit older than a lot of the cars around us still by only a lap, maybe 2. And we're actually running down Chastain, coming to 2 to go. We're getting closer to him. The cars behind me are also getting closer to me as Briscoe's running away with the stage win around into the outside wall. Head on goes the number 1 of Chastain. Caution is out. Stage 2 comes to an end. And we are P2. That is what I call a good stage points paying position right there. We'll take it. Corey Heim, I don't know what happened. Number 45 is nowhere to be found. So we will pit for tires and fuel again and get ready to go for the restart. And now the 45 does move into P9. Of course, ignore, we don't get it in the caution summary screen, the actual names of like the silly season changes now, as we are back underway here from Miami. And now this leaves us with 26 laps remaining. Chase Briscoe and myself, now your front row. We have worked our way forward all race long. We have made adjustments all race long. I can confirm I had made one final wedge adjustment there at the end of stage 2, and I had turned the wedge all the way down to 45.0. That's the lowest you can go, and I feel like that's going to make a little bit better of a difference. Now, we've got the track position, so you're going to notice a very different kind of mentality here in stage 3 for me after a few laps anyways. We're going to race a bit hard here early on as both Elliott and Briscoe are side by side. They clear me on the run into turn 1. Here comes the 45 as well. I just saw Corey Heim to the inside as well. He has actually gone from 9th to literally up to P3 or so on this restart now, or at least into the top 5 as we give this 19 a push down the back straightaway. Now there's the 45. Now here's the 11 of Tyler Reddick. But what we're going to do is they're going to go 3 wide for the lead, but this is the line right here that you want to run. This is optimal for saving tires and then just having a better run overall. So we're going to really focus in on just being patient and running this line right here, even if it means this, dropping back a little bit, losing track position to William Byron, but we do pass the 19 to Chase Briscoe. But we just continue here to manage this tire. This right front, we have not been able to do it all race long. We clear the 24 on the exit of turn 2, move into the top 4 positions now as Corey Heim's back out front over the number 11 of Tyler Reddick and the 9 of Chase Elliott. Now we are closing in on the back of the 9 of Chase Elliott here with 20 laps to go in this race, being nice and patient here. Elliott's going to run up the racetrack, and again, I'm going to go down to this kind of seam right here, and we're going to clear the 9 and move up into P3, and we're seeing a difference here as this run carries on. And come lap 49, we run down the 11 of Tyler Reddick here. Now, I thought honestly I was going to be able to just kind of drive up there and just kind of blow past Tyler Reddick like we have with the other guys, but very quickly would find out that was not going to be the case here. Now, come lap 50, approaching 51, we've kind of been stuck behind the 11 with a big run, though, and I said, okay, let's go to the outside and see if we can make a move here and clear this number 11.
All right, bring it in and pit this time.
And you see there,
Inside door.
recommendations to come into the pits is we'll get a run down the back straightaway, but it just wasn't enough to clear. So we end up still stuck behind the 11, and the 45 of Corey Heim is running away now, getting to the inside of Reddick into turn number 1. This could be the difference maker right here. Can we clear him? A little bit tight on the center, and that's going to get us right against the 11, and not quite clear. He's going to fight back down the back straightaway now, and the 19 of Briscoe is going to move up the racetrack with them as well. Of course, two teammates there kind of falling in line together now as another call from my pit crew to pit, or crew chief to pit, and I deny it again. I still think personally that it's too early to pit. And come lap 53, now you can see the 11 fading over to the left side. That's a sign that he is coming into the pits at the conclusion of lap 53. You're going to see him pull off right there. There he goes. 24 as well in the background of William Byron has come into the pits. Then a lap later, here comes Corey Heim. Briscoe behind us. Elliott behind us. We're doing the opposite thing that we've done all race long, and that's pitting later than everybody else. So one lap later, coming to the end of 55, now we are going to come in for a can and a half of fuel, and it's going to be 4 tires now as we'll get down to the pit lane. And this is the money stop right here, as it's going to be 4 tires. It's going to turn into a 16 flat second pit stop. And as we return to the racetrack, the question is, where are we going to cycle out? Here comes the leaders down the back straightaway. Through goes Heim, Briscoe, Reddick, Byron, and Chase Elliott as well. So we'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will be a net P6. I feel like overall we haven't really lost much time at all to the leader of Corey Heim, which is very important for us now as we hit 11 laps to go in this race. I think we've got enough time to be patient here, because now we've got, you know, that 2-lap, 3-lap fresher tire advantage that we were at a disadvantage to earlier. As now here we go to the inside of the 24. The 11 and the 24 are probably going to be fading early in this run, and sure enough, Chase Elliott around the 11, bringing Byron with them. Big run off turn 4, 3 wide down the front straightaway now with the 11 of Reddick and the 24 of William Byron into turn number 1 here now on lap 59. Just got to keep this car hooked up on the inside line, and we might even get past Chase Elliott here as we'll get side by side. Not going to quite get him, and still not clear on the top, allowing Byron to come back through into turn 3. Heim into the outside wall, crash from your leader. Caution is out, and he has dominated this race. Reddick in the 11 is going to come into the pits, and oh my goodness, Corey Heim's going to actually stay on the racetrack, so I don't know how this is going to work out, but we'll be P5 for the restart. This is a restart we needed, because we've got tires that can get us to the lead of this race. I am confident of that. We are back underway here now from Miami. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout here for the money. Into turn 1 we go, and we of the top 5 have fresher tires than anybody. Now there's cars in the back behind us, like the 48 of Corey Day, the 17 of Chris Buescher. They pitted, actually I think the 17 pitted 1 lap later than I did, and I can't remember the 48 was either the same lap or 1 lap later as well. So watch the 17 as well, and even the 6 of Brad Keselowski as we clear the 24 of William Byron, and it's game on as we exit turn 4. Heim still up here in the mix down the front straightaway now. Lap 64 means 4 to go. Big push from behind from the Exalta Chevrolet Camaro of William Byron. Here we go to the outside, through 3 wide around the top. Now Heim in the middle. Seems like the damage is causing him to fade. Down the back straightaway, Chase Briscoe leads Elliott all the way to the white line on the bottom of the racetrack. Into turn 3 we go, and Elliott's going to try to get to the inside of Briscoe. Are we going to dare do it? Yes, we are. 3 wide to the outside. Look in the mirror. Here comes Chris Buescher into the conversation, and it's 3 wide at the start-finish with 3 to go. Can you believe this racing here? 1.5 miles. Always excite here in NASCAR 25, and we're going to get the big momentum through the middle of 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, clear of the 19, side by side with Elliott, and a push from the 19 into turn 3 is going to push me quite a ways out front, and we have a chance to clear right here off turn 4, and we in fact clear for the lead. Here comes Corey Heim back into the conversation as well. Don't rule him out quite yet. Watch out for that 17 as well as we roll through 3 and off turn 4, and here we are leading coming to the white flag. We played the strategy to perfection and are executing on the final lap of this race. Now Heim in P2 trying to rebound. He's been the dominant car all day long. As it now, we've got control and hold on out of turn 2. Buscher has gotten to the inside of the 45 down the back straightaway, and look at the speed he's got into turn number 3. Here he comes in that fast and 04 through 3 in turn 4. We're pushing tight on the exit of the corner. Here comes Chris Buscher down the front straightaway. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Are you kidding me? Chris Buscher steals it from Prosper, Texas, a population of only 30,000, and he wins. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe he just stole that one. That is one that we will remember for a long time, of the one that got away. Chris Buscher, with about a lap fresher tires than I had, was able to put it to full advantage and click off the win here from Miami and steal it from me right at the line. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And as well, that is a win for Commander as well. That is actually the crew chief for the 17 team. If I just didn't get tight off turn 4, we would have had him, because that would have been able to cover him off. But when we came off turn 4, I got so tight, and then the 17 had already gotten to my inside, so I couldn't block him anymore. Just overall frustrating. As we do qualify P27 for race 2 here from Martinsville, as it's going to be Tyler Reddick on pole position over Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Byron Logano, your top 5, as you see the rest of your qualifying order. And, you know, going into Martinsville, very frustrated, because that was like, dang it, I should have just got my second win of the season. That should have been an additional 15 points to my name. Instead, we got nothing out of that other than P2. I mean, still a good points day, but I mean, I care more about winning than I do points. So, yeah, just overall disappointing. And we go into Martinsville, and we don't really go into Martinsville right now expecting to win. You never know. I mean, of course, things can kind of play out in your favor at times, and that's kind of really what the hope is right here, is that something could maybe play out in our favor as we get ready to take the green flag for 100 laps of racing from the Cookout 400 now, as we are about to be green flag racing here from Martinsville. One of my favorite tracks. Well, let's be honest, it is my favorite track in the NASCAR schedule. I've always adored Martinsville. Anytime I come here from, you know, playing back in the day in like NASCAR 09, that was my first ever, you know, NASCAR game of properly playing, and I've always adored this racetrack from that point on. And any game, your Technics games, of course, the NASCAR Heat Series, iRacing, you name it, I love it. Martinsville is just a track that I adore. It's just so much fun to race at here now, as we're to the inside now of the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen. Right off the bat, I mean, we're actually working our way forward pretty well. Already up a few spots here, passing now Zane Smith, and immediately bringing the fight to the inside of the 21 of Josh Berry, and so on and so forth. So definitely showing some decent pace here, which I was a little bit concerned. I didn't quite know how the pace was going to be in this car, but it's definitely working out pretty well early on. And honestly, I think we can maybe even rally towards the top 15 spot before this stage is over. Stage points in stage 1 definitely not going to happen, but we're setting ourselves up already pretty well to go after stage points in stage number 2, of course, now, as we'll continue on, passing now the 99 of Connor Zilish, and then running down the 60 of Ryan Priest here for P19. This would be after breaking into that top 20. Bit of contact there, no harm, no foul. It is Martinsville at the end of the day, short track racing. As we head into turn 3, though, we will clear him and move on a little bit further forward. Then it's the number 3 of Austin Dillon that we run down, and we're going to be able to pass him pretty easily as well. So these positions, they were just kind of clicking off. You know, it almost felt like every other lap at least we were passing somebody. And then we run down, of course, here now the number 8 Lucas Oil Chevrolet of Kyle Busch. Of course, rest in peace, Kyle Busch again. Still thinking of him and his family, and of course our thoughts are still with them, and hoping that all is the best with the Busch family as we continue to honor and let his legacy hopefully live on for a very, very long time in the NASCAR world. Now, as we continue up to the back of Corey Heim, who's probably feeling just as robbed as I was after that Miami loss, as we'll pass him through 3 and 4, not showing as much speed here at the paperclip now. And I said we could probably break into the top 15 here in stage 1. Well, we're 1 spot shy of that, and we got 7 laps to go. We finally clear the 45 on the exit at turn 4, and with just a handful of laps remaining here in stage 1, we're going to probably get to this 54. Maybe it's going to be close. I mean, we're coming up on 2 to go, and now Gibbs is actually putting some pressure on the back of the Spire 71 of Michael McDowell as we'll head down the front straightaway here. 2 laps to go in stage number 1, and Gibbs, final lap at this point now, still can't pass the 71, and I can't quite get to him. The 11 of Tyler Reddick wins stage 1 as we follow into turn 3. It's going to be 1 spot shy of that top 15, but that's not too bad. We'll take it. P16. This will set us up still very well, nonetheless, for this second stage. And I was pretty happy with the way the car was driving at this point. Now we will come into the pits, and I did make a slight wedge adjustment, turn the wedge down a little bit. Now as we actually gained 2 spots, Byron loses 8. I'm not sure who the 2 were that went down the order, but one driver I'm not seeing up there is Kyle Larson. So I'm going to assume Larson is one of the drivers that we just passed in the pits. He must have had a bad pit stop. Now as stage 2 kicks off here, 25 laps of racing, 5 additional laps compared to that first and opening stage here. Now it's actually cracked the outside wall like an idiot. Down the straightaway now is up in front. I can see Chase Elliott's actually 3 wide on the outside right now as we come through to complete the opening lap here of stage number 2, and all about trying to get ourselves into this top 10 here to set ourselves up well for the 3rd and final stage of this race. Now as here comes Ryan Priest to my inside, and of course when you're on the outside on a restart in Martinsville, it's not ideal. You're kind of just hanging on, you're dropping track position. It's a lot easier for whatever reason in next gen to make the outside work on restarts than it has ever been in the NASCAR world since I've been watching anyway, so since Car of Tomorrow basically. But you know, it used to be kind of doomsday. If you were on the outside, you could kind of hang on for a few laps and then you would really start to fade, but now in the next gen you can make the outside a viable option. You're not really going to go forward with it, but it's not the end of the world when you get trapped on the outside like it used to be. Now as we continue on here, now passing the 45 again of Corey Heim, you got the 17 of Chris Buescher just up there in front of us. Of course, no more playoff format since last season in this career mode, so you know, Buescher winning's great, but it doesn't lock him into anything. Of course, now just like our Daytona 500 win, it didn't lock us into any playoff or anything. We still got to be in the top 16 in the point standings. I haven't shown the point standings yet, I mean, because it's, you know, I mean, we're still early in the season, and of course I don't show it in the game because it's a little bit inaccurate, because the points are accurate, but the winners, of course, the format we use is the IRL format now, so they should all be getting an additional 15 points, which is not represented in the game because it uses the playoff format. So that's hence why I haven't shown the points. But don't worry, as we continue to progress in the season, I'll start to really show them so you guys understand what the situation is here now, as we're right on the back of the 17 of Chris Buescher here. Now with 10 laps to go, I really thought we were going to be able to be in the top 10 by this point in the race. And as we cut to the final lap of the stage, I had gotten nowhere. I was still P12 behind the 17 of Chris Buescher, and we're going to lose it on the exit of turn 2. And the 11 of Reddick's going to win the stage, and what a choke that was. And now we are going to have to repair this car, and we're going to give up a whole lot of track position because of that one. Yep, 4 tires, fuel, repairs. We're 14th. We would drop to 19th. Now, one of the positives, I guess, is we're on the inside here for this restart, so hopefully we can roll pretty well now as the 11 of Tyler Reddick has dominated this race so far. And as we kick things off for the final stage, we've still got a lot of laps of racing here, 55 laps to go, but very frustrating end of stage 2. I just got to the 17 of Buescher and I could never pass him. Honestly, I probably should have just knocked him out of the way, but Buescher, one of the cleanest racers in the NASCAR Cup Series, that really, in terms of, you know, that, I didn't want to knock him out of the way, even if it's just a AI. Still, I like to race how I want to be raced, even if it's with single player AI now. But of course, there is drivers I will absolutely be willing to knock out of the way, like that yellow bumper right there with that 77. I have no problem with sending him as we continue on here in this final stage. At this point now, still, I think we can recover to a top 10. We do need to be careful to make sure we don't have that slide off turn 2 again, which really cost us right there. I mean, we literally crashed. So now to the inside of Connor Zilish in the Trackhouse, number 99, and making some headway on him here now as we approach just the final half of this race here. Now, hard to believe we've just only now gotten halfway as Kyle Larson now looks to my inside through the center of turn 1 and out of turn 2. He's going to be able to pass us. Now, that 5 has been really playing recovery ever since he had a bad pit stop at the end of stage 1, and now to the inside of the 17. We'll take it. Finally, now a chance to get past Chris Buescher, and this would move us into 14th place as he's going to be very nice there and just kind of let me roll through. I say that. He does try to fight back here on the exit of the corner. I didn't really roll through the center of the corner that great, to be fair to him. So we will clear the 17 nonetheless and continue to work our way forward. And the passing was coming a lot easier here in stage 3 to my surprise. I mean, a lot of these guys were just kind of rolling over, letting me kind of slip through on the inside, and we're just kind of gaining position after position after position right now on lap 62 at this point. This has been a race that's been green from start to finish, aside from stage yellows as we're even passing Kyle Larson again. So if this does go green, you know, till the end, we will have to come into the pits here. This is not a stage where we can make it to the end of the race without pitting. So green flag pit stops is definitely going to be an option now as we do lay the bumper to the 3 of Austin Dillon. I said, hey, I'm coming through, buddy, as we're approaching the closing 30 laps of this race here from the Martinsville paperclip now, and we'll pass Austin Dillon, finally clear him into turn 1, up into P11. We go, big slide there on the exit of turn 2, just about lost it again. That opens the door for the number 5 of Kyle Larson into turn 3 to come past me now, and that'll relegate us down to the 12th position here as Larson will clear us. But I feel like we've got the speed to get back in front of him, and as we come to lap 72, you can actually see now we're all working our way now through some lap traffic as I get a call to pit right here. I worded that weird. I was the one that made the call, not the crew chief, because I wanted to try something different here. So we're going to come in, we're going to take 2 right side tires, fill it up on fuel. The left sides aren't wearing a whole lot, so we're going to come in a lot earlier than everybody else. The concept here, the goal is to gain a ton of track position, and then by the time everybody else pits, they're not going to have enough time to run me back down. Now, I don't think this is a winning strategy. I think this is a top 5 strategy that we can pull off. And, well, to my surprise, the 11 of Reddick's pitting already. So I guess they have the same idea that I have as we head down into turn number 1 here with 26 to go. Now, what I can confirm, something that's different from my strategy to everyone else is actually taking 4 tires. I only took 2. Everyone else is taking 4, which is going to help us even more. I can see the number 11 up there in front of us. He's already long gone, but I'm just very curious to see. I think we're going to be P2 once this is all said and done by pitting, you know, significantly earlier. The 11 pitted significantly earlier than everybody else as well. And as we continue rolling forward now, making some of these final passes as everyone's starting to finish their pit sequence now. The 12 of Ryan Blaney comes in. He's one of the last ones to pit, so he's going to be really rolling for these closing, 20 laps or so here. That's going to remain now. But as we continue on, sure enough, as the pit cycle runs its course after passing Ryan Blaney, we are P2 on the leaderboard now. But the 11 of Reddick is literally an entire straightaway in front of us. He is cruising to a win here today. He's just hoping it stays green, because if it stays green, nobody's going to run him down. Ryan Blaney is currently in P3 trying to run me down here in these closing 20 laps, and I believe he will get here pretty easily on 4 fresh tires, on significantly fresher tires as well. I don't think it's going to be much of a contest, and come lap 87, look who's here. The 12 of Ryan Blaney has run me down, and not far behind is the 19 of Briscoe and the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Now, as here comes Blaney to my inside, I'm not going to fight him very hard because he's at a massive advantage compared to my current tire situation. So it's like, yep, have at it. Go take the spot now into turn 1 you go. He'll clear us, and then next up is going to be the 19 and the 45 of Briscoe. Actually, the 45 of Himes the lap down, so it's the 23 of Wallace that we have to worry about after the 19 as we come to 10 to go, and here comes the 19 now to my left rear. I'm even getting passed by Cody Ware. That tells you the tire situation that we're in, with 10 coming to 9 laps to go in this race where across my nose, making way for the 19 of Briscoe as we drop down to P4, and Bubba Wallace is closing in as well. And come towards the end of lap 93, Bubba Wallace is here. I can see Chase Elliott as well coming. We've lost it on the exit of turn 4. Are you kidding me? I've spun it around for the second time today. We're not going to get a caution. They are not going to throw a yellow here. Now, we got to get this thing back going. Everyone's stacking up, trying to avoid me, including the leader of Tyler Reddick's number 11 Progressive Toyota Camry, as we are ahead of him into turn 1, but we blow the corner, and that's going to open up the door, and you can see I'm all confused over here trying to get back up to speed, and even after spinning, we are still 13th, basically running where we were earlier, but we would drop in behind Keselowski, lose a spot to him as Reddick moves up the racetrack right here, and we're actually going to pass him back and get back on the lead lap of this race. I cannot believe the way this race has gone there with 2 self-spins in 2 stages is so frustrating. And, I mean, unfortunately, all my fault. I mean, what do you even say about that? There's no one else to blame other than the idiot holding the steering wheel. And unfortunately now we're just kind of bleeding track position, trying to hang on in these closing laps now. But I mean, we don't really have much to hang on here. Our tires are much more worn as well. We have damage now with 2 laps to go for the leader of Tyler Reddick. Of course, he's now going to get to my inside here. So it looks like we might end up, unfortunately, a lap down here coming to the checkered flag. Honestly, maybe that's a good thing because we're just losing so much track position. Look at this. Ryan Blaney as well is right here in the number 12. He has run down the 11 of Tyler Reddick now as we head down into turn number 1 for now, I guess, the final time of this race here as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway, and Tyler Reddick's done everything he's needed to do, and it's going to be enough through turn 3 as I'm going to lay the bumper to the 34, but Tyler Reddick will win in the number 11 for Joe Gibbs Racing here from Martinsville as we end up in P16 after a chaotic closing 10 laps that was far more chaotic than it really needed to be here. I'm just disappointed just with my own mistake right there. There's just no excuse for, overdriving the car like I did. Now, as you see the rest of your finishing order, that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. I promise next episode I will start showing the points. I just got to get the graphic kind of finalized. So that is going to do it for me. We are well underway into this final season of the NASCAR 25 Career Mode as well. Chris White on the number 11 team picking up the win there. So shout out to him on getting the victory. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great day.